Welcome to Seeds of Soul. Today we are thrilled to welcome Simran Valecha, a top voice in the fitness and health industry. She has achieved an impressive track record of helping 3,000 clients globally to lose up to 2 to 3 kgs in a month, all while eating what they love. So let's hear it from Simran and join me in welcoming her to our episode. Hey Simran, thank you so much for taking time out to join us at Seeds of Soul.
Thank you, Pallavi. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
So I would just like to know as to what prompted you to start on this journey towards fitness, and what was that aha moment or spark where you started?
So, my aha moment to start sharing my journey on Instagram, which eventually led me here today, was I was in a hardcore finance job and I had no life per se, but I would work from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and somehow I woke up every day at 6 a.m. and went to the gym and worked out. And the days I didn't, I thought I was going to cut my boss's head off. So that was my me time. That's what I enjoyed. And somewhere along the lines, I kept seeing these posts on Instagram of these picture perfect models looking beautiful after their workouts, and I was like, I look nowhere like that. And I'm pretty sure there are people out there who probably relate more to me than to these models. So I was like, let's just start sharing my real raw fitness journey on Instagram. And that's how the journey began. And yeah, now we're here. I'm so excited.
That is so inspiring. And you said that you actually found the time to work out despite having such a grueling hours, right?
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind it?
I don't think I needed to be inspired at that point. I've been working out since the age of 18, and I got into the habit of working out mainly because I had seen my parents work out their entire life. While we're talking, I just have this funny story that comes back to me. I was much younger and I used to play with my Barbie dolls. And I'd asked my nanny, who used to stitch all these fancy clothes for me, to stitch clothes for my dolls with gym clothes, because one was my mom and one was my dad, and they had to have like the Nike tick and things like that. And I was like, that's when it began for me technically, right? Looking at them, seeing they are working out together, that's an activity they are doing together, I would love to do it with them. And then even when I was younger, I used to go to the gym with them. There was rock climbing in the gym back then. Used to spend time there with them, and it was just but natural that when I was 18, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come with you guys. And seeing what all my body could do was lovely. I have no words on like how proud I would feel. Oh, like, my body can do this. There's so much to flexibility. There's so much weight my body can lift.
Wow.
So there was so much gratitude that working out just then became something that brought me a lot of joy.
That fueled your day.
Yeah.
That fueled your day. Okay. And you know, when you started off on this journey and you left your banking job, your job, was there some kickback from your family as to why are you leaving this job and
none at all
on this journey? Or they were very supportive?
They were very supportive. My dad till now shoots content for me, with me. He does all my accounts. My mom is the nutritionist, so our business runs together. So it's a family business.
Wow. So keeping people fit is a family business. That's a nice family motto, I must say. So moving on, what are some popular myths that you have come across when it comes to weight loss, especially for older women?
Understood. So in terms of myths, I think it goes across from young to old. All see the same sort of myths, and I fell prey to it myself. So when I was 18, I moved to the US to pursue my undergraduate education, and I would see everyone talking about Sarah Atkins diet and no carb diet, keto diet, intermittent fasting. And I've tried it all myself. I actually had straight hair. If you see my mom, She has straight hair. No one in my family has curly hair. I tried so many fad diets that my hair changed its complete texture.
Oh,
So I've fallen prey to all the myths out there, and I think the biggest one out there is don't eat carbs after 7 p.m. But it's a myth. There's no science behind not eating carbs after 7 p.m. You can even eat it like at 3 p.m., 3 a.m. As long as you have some time before you get into bed for your body to digest it, it shouldn't be a problem.
okay.
Yeah.
So you are a big advocate of not labeling foods, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't call any food good or bad.
No, I don't.
Okay, so but there are so many fitness influencers out there who'll tell you that okay, you should not be eating certain kind of processed foods and probably eliminating them from your diet completely. You would say that how does one incorporate weight loss goals while eating
Yeah.
their favorite foods and
So-
fast foods and
Yeah.
that?
So I give a simple tip about to all my clients about how to eat nachos when on their weight loss journey. So I say you're already having your carbs and your fats from the nachos and the cheese. Just add your protein in terms of your beans or your chicken and some veggies to the same plate, right? If you go to any true Mexican restaurant, they're gonna be refried beans and there's gonna be veggies to it. If you eat it in a balanced portion, the portion you consume of it will be automatically lesser than when you consume just plain carbs and fats. And you'll also be satiated, so you won't again be eating something additionally to add more calories to your daily intake.
True, true.
So once you once you eat everything in a balanced portion, your portions will automatically be in check.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And what about the younger generation? What are the myths that you have come across for the younger generations? Somebody who, because we just did we did just talk to a dietitian in our previous episode, and we talked about childhood obesity being on the rise. So there is obviously a lot of weight concerns when it comes to the younger generations. So and obviously that is linked to a lot with processed foods. So
Yeah.
how would you address that?
So we can't cut out processed foods completely when both the parents are working, of course. So I also moved to Dubai, and this is something I've been doing. So instead of buying the ready-made soup, okay, for example, I buy now frozen cut veggies, then I make the soup out of it so that it has fewer processed ingredients per se to store it for a longer period of time.
Correct.
These are just cut veggies that are frozen. Probably they do have additional salts to keep it fresh for longer, but I'm
Perfect.
still cutting out a lot of other ingredients that would have been there if I had just bought ready to eat soup or ready to eat meals.
Correct. What about workouts? What kind of workouts does Simran do to keep fit?
So I do strength training about 2 to 3 times a week, and I love trying out new workout classes. So I have a ClassPass subscription and I try out new classes every weekend.
Wow. And you said that you had also met your husband in a gym?
Yeah. So when I started working out at 18, I met my husband in the gym and we work out together. So even when I was going at 6 a.m. to the gym, he was with me.
Wow. So doesn't fitness run in the family? Would you say
I
that?
hope it continues to run as well.
That's for sure. While we are talking about fitness goals, okay, and you're saying that it is all about balance. How does one really keep a track of their daily macros and micros intake?
So in an Indian household, technically you will be consuming various fruits and vegetables through the day.
Correct.
So you don't need to sit and track your micros and macros. What I've noticed is that when people do get so deep involved in it, you can't even enjoy a meal at at a restaurant with your friends, and you're just
Yeah.
thinking about, okay, did I meet like my protein requirement for the day? Oh my god, I exceeded my calories by 200 calories today. I need to go for an additional walk, and you're just not enjoying your food, and your relationship with food goes for a toss. Then your relationship with your weight and health goes for a toss. And I found that sort of very toxic. And I myself have been through the same. Like when I was in college and trying to lose weight, I tried to do a 1200 calorie diet. I clearly had no idea what I was doing. And I was even tracking, I was putting down wine into the calorie tracking app while I was drinking it. So I basically was just taking the fun out of having a nice glass of wine on a Saturday evening with my girlfriends. And like now and today I see so many young girls doing this, and my only advice is stop thinking about macros, micros, calories, and just focus on eating a balanced diet, eating all your Indian sabzis, roti, everything that all your nani, dadi is like feeding you.
Correct.
Eat that and move as much as you can. Like I don't say, okay, if you're working on living on the 7th floor, climb every day up and down. But you can climb till the 1st floor and then take the elevator to the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
You can climb down till the 6th floor and then take the elevator down there. When you're on work calls, you can walk and talk. You can even just stand and work on your laptop. That was also fine. A simple tip that I actually do in addition to all of this, because sometimes when you're so caught up in work, you don't remember, okay, let me just like get up and talk on the phone. So I keep an alarm on my phone for every 90 minutes. And I just take a round around my office, and that's about it. And it honestly helps me even go grab like water or a snack or some fruit to eat.
I noticed something very peculiar. You're not wearing any fitness watch. Like most influencers that I have come across, they are always, flaunting their Apple Watch and something. So I'm surprised that there is none on your.
So I don't believe in tracking my movement through the day. I know if I move through the day, I'll just be happier and healthier. And
so there is no 10,000.
There's no
counting.
goal for me, and I don't put this goal on any of my clients as well. I just say, like move as much as you can through the day. It'll in the long run even boost your metabolic rate and improve focus.
Okay.
I've found it moving every 90 minutes really gets me back into my zone to be able to work versus just sitting 3 hours in front of my laptop and crunching things.
Wow.
So I don't believe in tracking anything. I honestly, and today I've noticed so many people, they are so into this tracking that there's just no fun left to it, right? Like I go to the gym and I don't think I'm working out for the calories. Yeah. I'm just working out because I enjoy it. I work out either when I'm in Bombay, I work out with my parents, and when I'm in Dubai, I work out with my husband now. And it's just something we do together. We enjoy working out together, and our focus is on that, on what our body can do.
Correct.
And spending that time together, and it's an activity we do together. Versus, I need to burn 300 calories today so that I can go out and eat this tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
Why are you working out if your goal is to burn calories? Just like walk for like 2 hours in the same space and you would burn the same calories.
Okay. So you said that you love eating ice cream?
Yeah.
One ice cream a day keeps
the heart happy.
Keeps the heart happy,
Yeah.
and you love that. So a day you are saying that you and yet you're able to achieve your fitness
So
goals?
that's my motto only on vacation. Obviously, if I eat ice cream a day, I wouldn't be healthy and fit, and my body would be prone to multiple infections and diseases today.
Correct.
So that's not possible. But yeah, when I travel, I love to eat some form of dessert, ideally an ice cream or gelato every day when I'm on vacation. And that's the whole point, right? Like you find a balance that works for you. And I'm not saying that after eating ice cream every day for say like 10 days that I'm going to come back and just not eat ice cream for 3 months because, oh my God, I eat ice cream every day for 10 days. But one, obviously you're going to be tired of eating ice cream after eating it for 10 days. But I wouldn't be restricting myself that, oh, I cannot eat something for the next 3 months because I ate it every day for like 10 days. I just like to think of it this way, that if I gave you, like say, bengan to eat every day, would you then, would you then say for 3 months, I need to avoid it because I've eaten it for 3 months? Probably not, but you'd just be tired of eating it every day.
Absolutely.
So it just happens, but if you put it in your mindset that, okay, no, this is something I need to avoid, you'll just be craving it more.
Correct.
And same thing, if you have this logic in everyday life that I can't eat ice cream, I can't eat chocolate today, you will just be craving it more, and then when you actually get to eating it,
then you just overindulge.
Exactly.
Yes, that's a point well made. So just wanted to ask you that in your experience, can you share some kind of anecdote, where you felt that simple changes made a big impact in the life of your client?
So I think the 3 simple changes that I tell all my clients is to eat a balanced diet, move every 90 minutes, and work out 3 to 4 times a week. Now, for someone who's never worked out, I just try to push it slowly, like going for a walk for 30 minutes in there, somewhere that's close to them. If they don't have anything that's close to them, walk in the house, that's okay. Just get moving. And once you set that routine for 6 to 6:30, I will be working out. Whether you do it at home, whether you go out, you go to the gym. When you've done it for about a month, you'll automatically want to increase it to 45 minutes. Then you'll say, okay, let me go out for a workout, or let me get into strength training, or let me get into Pilates. But once you get into the habit of moving, it's a lot easier to explore other avenues.
Correct.
Then in terms of balanced diet, an Indian diet is a balanced diet. You start with
so
your
beautiful. Yeah.
you start with your salad. Every household always has like carrot,
It's
kakri,
perfect,
like, yeah,
right?
exactly. It's always
like
there.
a perfect proportion of carbs, protein,
Exact
your
fiber, vitamins and minerals.
everything.
Yeah. And then your raita or your chas also, right? Like
Yes.
with your lunch. So
which
you
is a
get
perfect
your,
fermented food.
Exactly.
Correct.
So if you stick to your Indian diet, it's ideal. But if you don't want to eat Indian as well, even if you go out to a Mexican restaurant, you can still find ways to make it a balanced diet.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Same with Asian, same with any other cuisine.
Okay. As a fitness influencer with such a huge following, how do you manage the influence of social media and its banes on and its effects on these younger generations, and how do you guide them? Because it has such a strong impact when it comes to your own body image and self-image.
Yeah.
So how do you help them navigate these complex
Of course.
pathways?
I'll actually share a story with you. I had this client who was about 21, 22, right? Had the knowledge also of everything that she should be doing. And it was her brother's wedding. It was like a distant cousin's wedding, who was a brother. And she got onto our diet to lose weight for that. She was in the normal range, but she wanted to lose weight. And we try to tell her not to
Kind of
focus on
overexert
not to
herself.
overexert. And I understand that she wanted to build a healthier lifestyle, so we guided towards that. And there was a lot of bloating because she was almost starving herself before she joined our diet plan, so we were addressing those issues. But the morning of the wedding, instead of weighing 50, she was 50.9, and she didn't attend the first function because she was so stressed about that number on the scale. And that also happens because we are constantly seeing these picture perfect bodies on social media, even of all our celebrities, right?
Okay.
Like Kareena Kapoor at this age is looking so stunning and fabulous, but that's her job. Like Hrithik Roshan does work out 3 to 4 hours a day. Tiger Shroff does work out because it is their job. But while we're like young adults today are managing their jobs, their families, just so much peer
So much
pressure.
stress.
Exactly,
Yes,
so much
yes.
stress. And then you're putting more stress onto your body to look a certain way. But instead, start by being grateful. You're not sick today. You're capable of managing your job, your family, your food, doing all those things around you. So we try to bring some perspective into their lives and just guide them with couple things that can help them, right? Like some affirmations, working out without thinking about calories, without thinking about macros, eating a balanced diet.
Just
and
doing it for the joy of
Exactly,
of movement, for having control over your body.
Exactly. And it's a long drawn process, but if you make a conscious effort that every time you have a thought like this, you say, okay, no, I'm having this thought, but I now know that I can still lose weight without having these thoughts, without stressing about it. And once you honestly start seeing results, right, like of following the tips that I'm sharing with you today, you will also automatically have that mindset switch. Because in my diet plan, I'm not saying eat 120 grams of paneer. I'm saying, okay, eat 1 bowl of paneer.
Okay.
So automatically
So
that
it is not
switch,
it is not as per the grams.
exactly. So
Okay.
automatically that switch comes, that I'm not sharing calorie counts with you. I'm not sharing the macros with you. I'm just telling you what food to eat in a simple balanced diet. Like divide your plate into 4 parts. So 1 bowl paneer ho jayega, 1 bowl sabzi ho jayega, 2 roti kha lo uske saath.
Correct.
Right? And like another bowl of salad.
Correct.
So Indian form mein, how if you eat it that way, then it's a lot more doable. And once you do it, then automatically your mind will also calm down.
Correct. So, you talked about just that, how she did not attend her brother's wedding. I mean, it is actually very sad that, this is a pressure that our younger generations are actually facing. But you just mentioned about this client of yours who did not attend her brother's wedding. Because she weighed point
9
something,
grams,
point
yeah,
nine
point
gra-
nine,
po-
yeah.
point 900
Kilo, yeah.
over. But, don't you think that the pressure that the families also put, especially, we see a lot of moms, having that kind of an impact onto their daughters.
Sadly, very true and very relatable today.
But I think that as parents, not only that we should invest into the education of the younger generations, that do not be influenced by what is going on,
Yeah.
what you see on the social media, but maybe our the parents also need to be educated that they need to be
More supportive
and have a more healthier.
lifestyle themselves in the house, right?
Correct.
So I'll tell you. So I have lots of friends who are little overweight, if I may, and their parents also don't work out. In the house, it's normal to not eat balanced diets or to eat fried food on a weekly menu, right? Like it's normal to have puris on the weekly menu. And while that's fine, you can't go around telling your kid that you're so fat and you shouldn't eat this and you need to eat separate food on the dining table.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're making the child feel that they're different and they need to do something because they are fat.
Yeah.
Versus,
they need to fix themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I saw in my days when I was growing up, I was definitely, people were calling me fat in school, but it just didn't matter to me because my parents were so supportive and never called me fat or anything like that. And I wore the same clothes that any thin person also wore. Like I wore shorts, I wore dresses, I wore bikinis, right? I had like a proper belly popping out, but I didn't care back then. My parents didn't care. And it just didn't matter to me or anyone else because my parents never made me feel that way. My grandparents never made me feel that way. My close-knit community never made me feel that way. So I think, one, that is important. And two, your parents telling you to do things that they are already doing. So them being your role models. I saw my parents working out together. I saw them eating certain types of foods in our house. So I was like, okay, I want to try this as well. It was never forced onto me. Like, I remember my nani used to love to feed me puri chips and puri bhindi, all fried, right? And I used to love to eat it. Like, my favorite part of going to my nani's house was the food she was giving me.
नानी के घर आपने पूरी नहीं खाई तो क्या खाया?
Exactly. Like chana puri, it was just part of my Saturday routine.
Yes.
But I noticed a shift that when I was even going to my nani's house, my nani, mommy, and my mom were eating something different on the table versus I was being fed this pampered food. And as I just started getting more aware and knowing that, oh, like, why is mom eating this? I also just want to try it out.
Correct.
And when I tried it out, and it worked for my taste, I was like, okay, cool, I'm in.
Okay.
So I'll tell you a fun fact. I hated vegetables and I'm a vegetarian when I was a child. So my nanny used to find different ways to feed it to me. And like, it was just all usually in the fried form, right? But somehow seeing that everyone else around the table was eating other things that was probably made in an appealing way, or even if it wasn't made in an appealing way, right? Like seeing that 5 people are doing it in my close community who I do trust, I'm like, fine, I'll have a bite. Right? But some people can be closed even for that. So that's when you need to make the food a little more appealing. Like, I know so many non-vegetarians don't like bengan ka bharta. Right? But we go out to Asian restaurants and today eggplant is so glorified.
Yes.
Everyone wants to eat it.
Correct.
Right? Same thing. So if you make it in an appealing way, maybe not in the typical Indian sabzi manner.
Be a little more creative.
Exactly. Yeah. And you will be able to eat anything and everything you want in a balanced way.
Wow. So with the growing lifestyle disorders that is plaguing now our society, what do you think that the future of health and fitness industry looks like, and what is your role? What do you think your role would be in it?
So health and fitness industry honestly globally is growing. I think we all already know about it. There are so many startups coming up in this space, so many more nutritionists, influencers, coaches, everything, right? And everyone is doing amazingly because there is a requirement for everyone out there. And in terms of my role, I think I just want to be one of the main people who does spread awareness about leading a balanced life instead of labeling foods as good, bad, yes, no, you can't eat this, avoid this, restrict this, but finding ways to guide and teach people how they can achieve their fitness goal while eating foods they love, while eating out at restaurants. We had a client who was in iBanking in London, and she didn't have time to cook. She, obviously in London we don't have cooks now, and we helped her with what she should order of Zomato for 7 days a week. And she
Okay.
still lost weight, right? It's all about making healthier choices and finding a way to eat balanced diets.
Wow. Wow. So thank you so much. This has been truly an enlightening episode, because today we have learned about how not to label food as good or bad, and just incorporating gratitude into our daily lives. So would you like to share any parting thoughts with our viewers?
Just have a good time and don't stress about your weight. If you need any guidance, it's all out there. Just look for scientific sources before you take guidance from someone.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
all, yeah.
Yes.
And it was such a pleasure chatting with you today and sharing
Thank you so much.
all this information.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, Simran, and I thank you profusely for taking time out to join us today.
Thank you so much, Pallavi.